Hey guys, so for today's video, I have my October favorites and regrets. So funny enough, I actually have almost pretty much equal amount favorites and regrets this month. So we got a good amount of favorites and a good amount of regrets to share with you guys. So I'm super excited. Let's just go ahead and get started. So I'm sure you guys knew I was going to mention this. Definitely like my top favorite this month is the new Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. I am just in love with this foundation. It's a cream liquid foundation that is extremely full coverage. I only have to use a pump and a half of this and bam, I have full coverage, flawless finish. This foundation also gives you the most like airbrush type of finish. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. You guys know I touch up my photos. I use the app Facetune and I always smooth my photos a little bit, usually underneath the eyes and the pore area and then my smile lines. What's funny is when I wore this foundation and I went to go edit the photo, I literally didn't have anything to smoothen. Like my face already looked very airbrushed and smooth. This foundation is literally a filter in real life. It's so amazing. It also lasts really long on the skin. The only thing is it does get a little bit oily kind of on my nose area, but all I have to do is just really set that area really good with like a loose powder and I'm good to go. This foundation has a really nice matte finish, but it's weird because it looks like a healthy matte. It doesn't look like a dry matte. It's just a really nice healthy matte. I'm actually wearing it on half of my face today and then the other half I'm testing out the Fenty Beauty foundation today. So I'm literally wearing two different foundations on my face today. Anyways, I love this foundation. I am in the shade Baklava. So next I want to talk about the primer. Some of you guys are probably shocked that I'm mentioning this in my favorites because I did have a little bit of like a 50-50, I don't know, I had like a love and hate thing with it when I first tested it out. That's because this primer is very interesting. It is the most interesting, different primer I have ever tried. So it took me a while to like warm up to it, but once I kind of tried it out more, I realized that this primer really works as a great sticky, tacky base for your foundation to just stick to. What I love about it too is it gives your skin a really nice healthy finish. So it's not super duper matte, but it doesn't make you greasy or oily. If you do put too much of this on though, you will feel a little bit heavy and a little bit greasy though. So don't apply too much. Usually a pump, max a pump and a half is good enough for the whole face. So since we are on, you know, the Huda Beauty train, we're gonna mention the last Huda Beauty product I have for today's favorites video. This is the new Huda Beauty Desert Dusk Palette. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, when I first saw this go online, I was like, I'm not a crazy fan of the color combination. I just wasn't. I don't know why. I was like, really? That's what you came up with? But then once I saw it, more swatches and more photos and tutorials, I purchased it on Sephora and I fell in love. Once you see the colors in person, it's just beautiful. The quality of this is just on point. The metallics and the shimmers just look so nice and metallic on the lid. The mattes blend like a dream. The only thing is some of the shades you do have to apply with only your finger, which I personally dislike that. But it's not a deal breaker for me. I still just love this palette. I think it's a great, really fun palette. Like it kind of takes me a little bit outside of my comfort zone, but not too far out of my comfort zone. I want to talk to you guys about this combo. Like literally talk about the best drugstore highlight combo ever. You guys need to watch, if you haven't seen it already, you need to watch my drugstore fall glam makeup tutorial because I used this combo and I just fell in love. By the way, everything that I used in that drugstore fall glam makeup tutorial is like holy grail status. Like everything turned out amazing in that look and it just looked so good. But anyways, this highlight combo is bomb.com. So this is the Master Strobing Liquid Illuminating Highlighter in the shade 200 Medium/Nude Glow. It's just such a beautiful wet looking highlight, but it's not too creamy where like powders don't sit nicely on top of it. It's just a really nice formula. But if you top it off with the Master Chrome, yes, mine is broken, it looks crazy, but it's just such an amazing highlight. If you top it off with the Maybelline Master Chrome Metallic Highlighter, you guys, so good. Like this highlight looks so wet on its own. So imagine it on top of this. You just have like the most beaming, I'm talking beaming to the gods, wet highlight. You look like you just like came out of the ocean and you're just like sun-kissed. It just looks so amazing and healthy on the skin. And it's a really nice color too. Like it's not too peachy of a gold, but it's not too yellow of a gold. I can't mess with the gold that's too yellow. It just shows up too much on my skin tone. So I love that this is a nice peachy gold. It kind of reminds me of Champagne Pop, how it has that very flattering peach undertone. I have been in love with this bronzer, and it's no new news to you guys. You guys know I love this bronzer, but I just had to mention it again because I've been using it non-stop this month. This is the Milani Baked Soleil bronzer. This is such a nice formula. It's a nice medium coverage, so you're not getting too much of a full application once you apply it. I like that because it allows you to build it up nicely, because bronzer can go from 0 to 100 real quick. So I like how this is just really nice and buildable. What I love about this too is it has the softest like lumosity on the skin without it being too overly like shiny, which is just never cute in the bronzer area. It just has that soft, healthy, very slight glow on the skin. It just looks really good. You can tell it has a little bit of like gold specks in it, but you don't really see that on the face. It just looks so beautiful and natural and really healthy. So I have found like one of the best drugstore liquid lipstick formulas ever. This is the new Rimmel Stay Matte Liquid Lip Color, and I love this shade, by the way. This is the shade Mocha. It's very hard for me to find drugstore nudes. I'll be honest about that, because a lot of drugstore nudes, they're just too, like, all the drugstore nudes I feel like are all mauves. The drugstore is missing a lot of nudes that just are a nice neutral undertone or a warm undertone. A lot of them are just very cool tone or just very mauvey. And I love that this is like my perfect nude. It just really blends in, like it's a super flesh tone shade for me. It blends into my skin almost. It looks really good. Again, this is the shade Mocha. But not only that, the formula of these, oh my God, so good, you guys. It feels incredibly lightweight, like incredibly lightweight. But not only that, it looks so smooth and flawless. We all know when you wear liquid lipsticks, you know, the lines on your lips show, and it does look a little bit on the dry side. With this, no, like it just looks so, this is the most, by far the most smooth liquid lipstick I've ever tried. Like it just makes your lips look very smooth. You don't really see much lines in your lips. Of course it does look the smidgest bit dry because it is still a liquid lipstick, but it just looks the smoothest and the least drying out of any liquid lipstick I've tried. Probably very comparable to the Huda Beauty. The Huda Beauty liquid lipsticks are more watery, which are, by the way, like top fave formula for me for liquid lipstick, the Huda Beauty one. Those are more watery. But you know how the Huda Beauty just looks so healthy on the lips, it doesn't look dry? This has that same kind of effect, does not look dry at all. The only thing is this is more of a medium to full coverage, so when you first apply it, you don't get that bam like color that you first expect. But it also is just a very smoothing, thinner formula, so I think that's why, because it's a thinner formula, it just doesn't pack as much pigment. But it's easily buildable. Like if you just go ahead and layer a second layer, it still looks flawless on the lips, so I really like that. I will say though, the nudes swatched beautifully. This is the only shade I've tried on the lips, by the way, and it's amazing. But all of the nudes I swatched on my arms and they swatched beautifully. Once you start to get into the berries and the blue, the gray, and the black, the formula when I swatched, I haven't tried them on the lips, but they were a bit patchy and streaky and they weren't as good of a formula. But the nudes and the red, amazing formula. I have one more favorite to mention, and it's the new Maybelline Brow Precise Micro Crayon. I actually really like this. The spoolie blends really nicely. It reminds me a lot of the Anastasia Brow Wiz, and the formula on this was just very easy to apply. I actually really was impressed with this. So that is it for my favorites. Moving on to my regrets for the month. I want to talk a little bit about the Too Faced Peaches and Cream? Yeah, Peaches and Cream collection. I know this collection was huge and you guys saw me try it out in my first impressions video. I personally found, I don't know if you guys noticed in that video, I wasn't like overly obsessed and in love with any of the products. I think I really like, I like the primer. I do need to test it out more, but I think I like the primer. I just think that the collection was a bit overrated and I wasn't blown away by the products, but there was also a couple products that were very disappointing. I want to talk about these. These are the Peach Frost and the Toasted Peach? Yeah, Toasted Peach. This is the bronzer and this is the highlight. The highlight did look pretty on the skin. It was a very subtle, it looked pretty. I just wasn't blown away by it, you guys. And then the bronzer I really did not like. It looked very muddy on me and I wasn't a huge fan of the formula. It did also look a little bit dry. I know it's a cream to powder formula, but I just wasn't crazy with how it looked on the skin. So I was also really disappointed by this. This is the Sweetie Pie Radiant Matte Bronzer. I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm not trying to be rude, but like, what were they thinking? What were they thinking? This is called Radiant Matte, which completely completely contradicts itself. I understand saying healthy matte or soft matte, but radiant matte. Once I saw it and I opened it up, I was just like, really? I don't know. I've never been a fan of Too Faced, how they put the pink inside of the bronzer. I don't want my bronzer to look pink, guys. I don't know why they do that. This is not the first time they've done that, but it's just, it's a complete fail. Like, look at this color swatch. That's not even a bronzer. Like, are we serious right now? Other than that, the formula is very smooth though, and the packaging is so darn cute, but I was just really disappointed. So next I have the new CoverGirl Peacock Flare Mascara. So I wasn't really impressed by this mascara. It takes a lot to impress me when it comes to mascara because I have my holy grail I've been using for years that literally to me is like irreplaceable, magic in a bottle. I'm obsessed with it, and that's the Maybelline Lash Sensational. I don't find that it does much to my lashes. It just didn't blow me out of the water. And like I said, when it comes to mascara, I need you to blow me out of the water because there's just way too many good ones out there and the standard is way too high. So last regret of the month, I want to mention the Morphe palettes. Now I'm really shocked by this, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is the 25A, and I also was disappointed in the 25B. Morphe shadows are usually just like holy grail, amazing always, but with this palette, I don't know what it is, the mattes just really did not blend nicely at all, and they also weren't that pigmented, which I was really shocked by. I expected more of a punch, more of a pigment. Ooh, I just realized I totally forgot to mention the Morphe 3502 palette, you guys. I feel like it's in my drawer and I'm way too lazy to get it right now. Don't hate me. But you guys, it is so bomb. Like, that palette is so beautiful. The color combination is incredible. This is like the ultimate warm palette. I've said it before. When I tested it out, I mentioned to you guys, I don't know if you noticed, but the 35.0, I liked it. But do you guys notice that I wasn't using it like all the time? And it's because I always felt like something was missing from it. Like, I was always like, something's missing from this palette. And it was missing more warmth, more fireness, more, you know, just more of a punch. And the Morphe 3502 is perfect, you guys. It's got your neutrals, your browns, your oranges, your reds, your golds, your bronzes. It's just the ultimate perfect warm palette. It's so beautiful. I love, love, love that palette. So that is pretty much it, you guys, for my monthly favorites and regrets. I know I didn't have that many products to share with you guys, but nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed. And that is pretty much it for this video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. And of course, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. Mwah.